Well, it's the 4th of June. I think that's about day 60 of my walk, and the reason why I've brought you here, apart from the fact that I've just descended about 1,500 feet in a pretty short distance down to the bottom of this valley, and to be quite frank, I need a breather before I have to climb 1,500 feet to get out of this valley. And the reason why I stopped here was because I've met an old friend, and the old friend is this river. It's a river, Uruguiana, and I have first met this friend on the outskirts of Buenos Aires, because where it flows into from here, all the way down the border between Argentina and Brazil, the border between Uruguay and Argentina, and it flows into the River Plate estuary along with the Paraná. And so I met this river just outside of Buenos Aires, and here 1,500 kilometers later I meet it again, and I'm surprised to meet it. Two things strike me about this river. First one is that it's a long river. It's 1,800 kilometers, so I've just about followed all of it on the way up here. The source is about 300 kilometers in the mountains to the east of here. The second thought is that really the landscape is very unspoilt. It's hardly been touched, and you can imagine Portuguese and Spanish galleons in search of the New World exploring this river 500 years ago, bringing Jesuit priests who would make contact with the indigenous tribes in these forests behind. All of that, very little has changed. And one final point is that I've crossed some mighty rivers in my time of walking. I crossed the River Rhine, the Thames obviously, and the Yellow River and the Yangtze in China. And one of the things that they all have in common is that they are bustling, lively rivers. They're full of cargo barges, moving goods around, pleasure boats, tourists. And across the whole length of this river Uruguiana that I have seen, I haven't seen any of that. It seems almost kind of underused, and for that perhaps sad, but at this moment I get to enjoy it in incredible peace and quiet whilst I take a short breather before my long march up that very large hill.